Today we are going to talk about the idea of a maritime confederation, which comes from my SOTO handbook. So we will be decoding this sentence by sentence. Make sure to watch until the end so that you understand my explanation. SOTO believes in a decentralized confederation of Indian Ocean states that share culture, trade, and security. I actually wrote this handbook myself with interest in the affairs of the Indian Ocean. I wrote that I am not proposing any empire or any alliance. This is an alliance, but it is not any specific bloc. This is not like any military pact. This is just a political network of Indian Ocean states. Decentralized means that no single country dominates. Each state is sovereign, and a confederation means that there will be cooperation without giving up any independence or sovereignty, just like the EU or any federal country. This is mostly maritime oriented. This is not only land borders and cultural, trade, and security. These are like the three most important things for any regional power, because having shared history like with Sri Lanka, Mauritius, Comoros, has had a long history of Indians coming to those countries or having similar ethnicities, languages, or similar cultures to states in India. This is like a soft power. And economic interdependence, which is in trade routes, ports, or supply chains. This is also very important for Bharat. And security as in maritime security and regional stability, which is a concept I discussed in my past videos, that there are many issues in the Indian Ocean like piracy or strategies like the Pearl String strategy, or how there are underwater submarines that is targeting ships, commercial ships roaming through these trade routes. This is one of the reasons why we need a decentralized confederation of Indian Ocean states. I have some notes pulled up that I will use to explain to you, but this is mostly just my explanation of this concept. This confederation could begin with closer ties among Bharat and neighboring Indian Ocean states such as Sri Lanka and Mauritius. Before we expand in the Indian Ocean, we need a core zone. Bharat is geographically centered in the Indian Ocean, right? To the west we have the Arabian Sea, to the southwest we have the Lakshadweep, and to the east we have the Bay of Bengal. Because of our geography, we are like a peninsula. Because our growing navy size and our growing GDP also, our economy is not a dead economy. It is actually now the fourth largest economy, surpassing Japan. This could be an opportunity for us to utilize our navy, our geography, and the economic scale. And Sri Lanka and Maldives, they are strategically located. Sri Lanka has ports like Hambantota, and Mauritius, we already have some good relations with them, and again we have very historically connected, we are already historically connected through trade, migration, and our similar cultures, so it's not bad to work with them. But we should not fully trust anyone, because every country has its geopolitical interests, just like us. The confederation could go further to parts of Southeast Asia that share civilizational ties that date thousands of years. So now we are moving from strategic, which is simply geography, economy, or history, to actual civilizational, as in culture. And parts of Southeast Asia that share these civilizational ties are Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, Cambodia, and kind of Vietnam. These countries historically had kingdoms with huge Indian influence, huge Hindu influence, They even mixed Hinduism and Buddhism and made a very unique kingdoms. They have huge influence from Sanskrit, and historically we had trade networks with them. Those trade networks was one of the reasons how Hinduism came to Southeast Asia. So this could basically be part of Bharat's soft power in the Indian Ocean by using these historical and cultural links as a way of diplomacy. Similar to how China uses the Silk Road or the EU creates some sort of shared European identity. In reality, this confederation may not actually form, but that could be a strong form of diplomacy that could match this idea. There may not be any confederation, there could be some military alliance or just some strong diplomacy, but there may not be a chance that we will be able to gain enough support to create this kind of confederation. Instead of trying to create political bodies, you can just conduct summits, do maritime cooperation agreements, or strengthen already existing agreements, create trade corridors, have dialogues with countries, or to increase our soft power, we can do cultural exchanges. These are some options, but these could be good alternatives to a confederation combined. Other than culture, trade, and security, the confederation's purpose would be to help deal with economic issues and Indian Ocean issues. This confederation could be used to stabilize the Indian Ocean because of the multiple issues that it faces today. There is unequal development in the Indian Ocean. There is dependence on foreign powers, on debt or economic issues like China or the US, and there are many environmental challenges like climate change or degradation of coral reefs, and small states are very weak and vulnerable. Once again, there is like piracy and more infiltrations happening in the Indian Ocean. This could be a good project to help solve these issues among countries and improve diplomacy with other countries for Bharat. These could include assistance against piracy, infrastructure debt, help for fisheries, and a quicker response to natural disasters. So now, how we can address them through this confederation? For piracy, that could be joint naval patrols and more intelligence sharing. Indian Navy already has a strong presence in the Indian Ocean in fighting piracy. It has been for the past 2 decades, I believe, but this could be a good way against piracy. Infrastructure depth, again from the major powers have debt traps for small or just regional countries, so we can offer them good alternatives and help for fisheries, and this can help prevent illegal fishing and can protect food secure and a quicker response to natural disasters. So we can just send our navy to help others who are in need. So last of all, this confederation is not meant to exclude or control others. It could actually be a good project. This is just a way of me to reassure that this confederation could be a good project, because it is not against specifically against any other country or any sphere. It is not an empire and it's not forceful. It can help benefit small or regular Indian Ocean countries. It can help strengthen the reputation and position of Bharat. To conclude, this Maritime Confederation is decentralized confederation of Indian Ocean states. Is not about trying to conquer others or coerce others. It is just about building cooperation and a network in culture, trade, security, and addressing issues. And this can happen while they remain sovereign. So, thank you for watching this until the end. Jai Hind.